backlights on because I don't feel like having no goddamn lights in my house. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? This is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for about a week now. I've been wanting to talk about the topic for about a week now. Because I'm glad I actually waited. I'm glad I actually waited because more has gotten stacked onto the bullshit. It's a lot of BS going on right now. And you're seeing it, and communities are at each other's neck. And when the year first started, that's why y'all got to get your reading, or at least get your report, your cardiology report. Because, man, these cards don't lie. You heard it here first on this channel. Even them goddamn metaphysical / astrology, none of them people didn't get it either. So this year, well, they got other things, but this theme here, and that's the theme of teammates fighting. People that are supposed to be on the same team, or people we all perceive are on the same team, going at it. And the reason why they're going at it is because, like I said before, this is a Nine of Hearts year. Nine of Hearts year is about getting to the emotional truth, getting down to the nitty gritty on what things are. Can't be lying about what the relationship is. Relationships got to go through challenges so people can find out who is who. And this is a challenge year for relationships. I also told y'all on my reading of Dr. Umar a couple months ago that he about to be getting really fucked up, and you see what's happening. That's why I ain't even been talking about Umar. I'm like, oh yeah, bro, this in your cards, homie. But that's the esoteric side of the game. I might do some card reading later on. I don't know, but I'm gonna stick to what we have going on here. What we're about to do is I'm gonna play video, because what we have on the right wing, we have a major civil war brewing on the right wing. Major civil war. We're not brewing, it's happening right now. I gotta stop saying brewing. They are trying to take each other out on the right wing. This MAGA shit is falling apart. You got Candace, it's like the Avengers of the white supremacists. You got the old white supremacists, from Candace Owens to Tucker Carlson to Milo and Elon Musk. It's like they're forming a white supremacist Voltron against Nick Fuentes, the white supremacists of the future. Nick Fuentes represents the white supremacists of the future because, as we see what's happening in America, the traditional white supremacist is dying off. And so we're seeing white supremacists by proxy from people who aren't full-blooded Anglo-Saxon. We're seeing this behavior come out of people, last name Fuentes, parents from Mexico, Myron Gaines from India or Sudan or whatever. You saw the Proud Boys guy, the Latino. This is the new face of the white supremacists. Old school white folks, they kind of taking a back seat. They still there, and they're every bit as strong, but they're allowing their puppets to take their place. Nick Fuentes represents that side of white supremacy. You're seeing them go at it. And then I was watching a few videos last week on what's happening in Africa. And Nigerians are being asked to get kicked out of everywhere. Like, the Ghanaians are kicking the Nigerians out, the Cameroonians, the South Africans, hell, even Saudi Arabia. Donald Trump limited their access. It's like people, it's not just us here in America, folks. And this isn't going to be a show to I'm not going to pile on Nigerians, but with what I see coming is Nigerians are on their way to an ethnogenesis, on their way of asking what does it really mean to be Nigerian, and that's probably for the Nigerians in the diaspora, because when everybody's telling you you're a problem, at some point you can't keep blaming everybody else. If we're having the same problems at Howard University that they're having in Ghana, and if they're having the same issues in Ghana that they're having in South Africa, so what's happening is the diaspora, it seems like, is going at them. So I'm going to approach this from a let's just watch and see what's going on in the world point of view. I don't have any smoke for no Nigerians other than, you know how new a Nigerian is to America when you see them rocking stonewashed jeans and a tuxedo shirt with Mandos on. That's how you know they only been in America for like 2 years or less. The ones that's been here a little bit longer know how to crisp up they fit. You dig? I saw a Nigerian the other day. This motherfucker had a tuxedo shirt on, some stonewashed jeans that were ripped at the bottom. He said, "No, I want to go over there. I want to go over there." That shit was funny. But I digress. Chat room, you niggas is mean in the chat. I'm not gonna repeat what Do the Math said in the chat. Y'all niggas is, I'm not gonna let y'all niggas take me there. I'm a man of God. I'm a man of the Lord. I'm not gonna let y'all take me there, chat room, all right? You niggas need to be nice. Stop being assholes in the chat, all right? The thoughts and opinions of my chat room don't necessarily reflect the thoughts and opinions of the host, okay? Y'all niggas are stupid. Let me say welcome to the chat. Well, I already got a super chat. James, I appreciate the super chat. My shit just rang. Appreciate that, James. Yeah, appreciate that. Got an early super chat. I'm not super chat, Cash App. But anyway, let's get into it. It's a few videos I want to play. Just, we got to pay attention, at least once a week or once every other week. I like to do a show where we're paying attention to what's going on around the world. And so what you see is, let me see here.
Background totally.
Let me go to that point.
He does talk about.
Let me see. I like watching some of these. I have a few of these right-wing shows that I watch so I can know what's going on their side of the game. I like knowing what's going on their side of the game. So this is one of them. Kim Iverson, she's a right-winger. These people tend to, say they love people like Nick Fuentes and they're cool with them, but they kind of, with Nick Fuentes, they tend to notice how they as you watch, they're going to tend to minimize his white supremacy. But this is how it all started. It started on this here, and you can watch the video. It started really when Nick Fuentes went on Candace Owens' show. He went on her show, and then she said a few things he didn't like, and he went on his show and blasted her about a month ago. And I covered that on the channel. I'm not gonna go over that again. We covered that on this channel. Go and watch that show. It was about a month ago. You'll see Candace Owens' face on the cover for that show. And then he's been going back and forth, and now you're starting to see a Voltron sign up, get together on the right wing to go with this guy. So I want y'all to pay attention. This is how it gets started.
About conservative values. So she's wondering, why are you not married?
I also don't appreciate the lecture. You don't know me, so I know you're married. I know you're older than me, but you don't know me. You don't know my life. You don't know my situation. I don't think you're in a position to give me advice, especially as a woman, honestly. I don't think women, this is something in the right wing we say we're anti-feminist, and then women go around telling men what to do, who are not their husbands. And, I don't really buy into that ideologically, but that's besides the point. My life has been tumultuous from the very beginning. From the time I turned 18, people were coming for my neck and trying to get me, and I was kicked out of college. A environment to try to have a dating life, What do? I go out on Tinder. I
can't stand this Montana Max looking motherfucker right here.
To a bar, and I say, hey, I'm a neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes that the ADL is writing articles about every day. I'm going to start a dating profile on Tinder.
This is Nick Fuentes sort of going off on Candace Owens just for asking his relationship status. Watch his all she did was ask about, hey, she basically just asked, are you going to start a family? Are you thinking about starting a family? And listen to this incel answer.
We're going to screenshot that, mess with me in all kinds of ways. It's a very difficult predicament, actually, for me, because I took on basically a huge sacrifice at the beginning. And I don't know that you really appreciate that enough. I think that you're somebody who, you had a career in politics for as long as I was fighting a battle. You were at Daily Wire with a contract. You're at Turning Point. You're making good money. You're doing book deals. You're part of this thing that I'm criticizing and paying a very heavy price for at a time when no one's saying those things, when it's very unpopular. And it's not to say that I'm a victim, because I did it willingly and I love it and I would do it again. But it is to say that, you and I have lived very different lives. And, it's easy, I think, for you to say you had your husband, have your kids, you got your ducks in a row, made quite a bit of money, then you discovered the truth, and then you went out on a limb. And it's not to say you didn't make sacrifices and it wasn't a risk, and it paid off. You're doing great now, and I congratulate you. But with me, there was no calculation. I mean, I almost want to say I was 17. What's your excuse? I was 17 and I woke up and I went balls to the wall, bucket of ice cold water, as you say. I made a lot of enemies, and maybe that wasn't wise.
Notice how quick they'll use the term woke up. These are the same people who are criticizing woke policies. But Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens both use the term woke up a lot. That's all woke meant was waking up to the bullshit. They the same term that they used and marginalized and beat into the ground, they're now using for when they woke up. This zesty Montana Max looking motherfucker. The reason why you ain't got no kids is because you like boys. Too many people are saying that out there. Too many people are saying that. And he comes off like somebody who like Hershey on this highway.
But I told the truth and I took on extremely heavy cost for my personal life. It basically has made
But basically, you see what he's doing is he's kind of going at Candace Owens. And this is one thing Candace Owens is having an issue with right now, because with Candace Owens, she's trying to play the black girl in the white world. And these white supremacists are getting mad because Candace Owens has money. She's still making money because America's always paid for black people to mimic white supremacist talking points. But the old school white supremacists are getting mad. They're really frustrated that black people are making money off what they perceive as their world. So, let me just make this smaller song. So let me keep going.
So that I can't have a personal life. I don't even have many friends. Forget about.
So that's basically the little rant he went on. Now I want to jump to Tucker Carlson saying about him.
Candace and Nick kind of had a back and forth. Candace then ultimately gets invited onto Tucker Carlson's show, and for whatever reason, Nick Fuentes comes up in that conversation.
I'm gonna speed it up.
Here's that.
I probably shouldn't even say this, but the only reason I know who he is because someone sent me a video a few years ago of him attacking me. And I was like, so I'm looking at this. And I'm like, well, first of all, this kid's really talented, like legit. And I can assess that just having done the job for so long. So it's like, wow, lots of talent, native talent. And he's attacking my dad as a CIA, his dad's in the CIA or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's untrue. And my father dies, and I learn, actually, was involved in that world. I was completely shocked by it. So no one has to believe me, but
So Tucker Carlson is talking about what Nick Fuentes did, and I think because the broke clock is right twice a day, Nick Fuentes is on some really deep truth-telling kind of shit. And these so-called truth-seeking white supremacists, they're now using those skills to take down one another. They used to use those skills to take down politicians, to take down black people, undermine black people, and they still do. Right now, they're using their spy, dirty tactics on one another. So what Nick Fuentes did was research Tucker Carlson's family and said that his dad was basically working for the CIA. And now Tucker Carlson's playing coy like he didn't know. That's bullshit, because Dick Gregory talked about Tucker, like these people's family being government operatives 10 years ago. He's acting like he just found out. That's one thing you got to watch out for with the white supremacists. Even when you agree with them, you got to watch out for them lying. He's acting like he didn't know that his dad worked for the CIA. But listen to this shit.
That's just a fact.
Right.
This was in March of this year. And I'm like, well, how the hell would this child from Chicago, my dad was 84 when he passed. Like, who's this guy know who my dad is? And like, he's in intelligence. How would he know that? And
Wait, so that was his critique of you? Because I didn't see it.
Someone just sent me this video and it was like, you can't believe anything Carlson says because his father was in the CIA and he's a CIA working on behalf of the CIA. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, and I actually feel emotional in my anger towards CIA. And I think that comes out on the air quite regularly.
Right.
And so the idea that I'm working for the CIA is like deranged.
Well, if it helps, he said I'm funded by Russia now. Since the interview, he then did.
Let me make something very clear. Look up Operation Mockingbird. Operation Mockingbird, the government already admitted that they put people in media positions. They say that Mockingbird is over. All that means is whatever Mockingbird is now, it's just done under a different name. They never said that they stopped doing it. They just said that they ended the program. Ended the program doesn't mean that they stopped putting operatives in these seats.
In a thing and said I was funded by Russia.
But you would be a lot more likely to take Russian money than I would be to work for the CIA. You would never take Russian money, and you're not Russian. But I mean, I really hate the CIA. And I mean,
Right.
That's like very offensive to me. So why would you?
It's like personal for you.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
And anyway, like,
let me give you another example. You'll find this book, Weird Scenes from Inside the Canyon. You'll find in this book right here that Jim Morrison often said when he was interviewed and asked about his father, he would say his father was dead. Do you know that Jim Morrison's father started the Battle of Tonkin, the Tonkin Sea? Basically the battle that started the Vietnam War was started by Jim Morrison's father, Jim Morrison from The Doors. His father was the mastermind behind that fake invasion that they talked about, quote unquote, allegedly, that started the Vietnam War. Jim Morrison, when asked about his father, would say that his father was dead. He didn't have a relationship with his father. But what we found about 20 years ago, 15 years ago, of course, long after Jim Morrison died, there's a picture with him and his father taken 3 months before the Doors exploded onto the scene. Just a few months before the Doors exploded onto the scene, Jim Morrison there's a picture found with him taking a picture with his father. But when he would get interviewed, once he was already famous, he would say his father was dead and he was anti-war. So all I'm saying, I don't know Tucker Carlson's situation with his father. I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't research it. But this kind of, when they deny like this, what else are they going to say? Yeah. And matter of fact, my father gave me all the secrets and gave me my job. It's because of my father's relationships that I got the job that I got on radio and national TV. Of course he's not going to say that. So always listen with a critical ear. Let's keep going.
Who is this kid exactly?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's just an accident that the guy exclusively goes after people who are in roughly the same. And then he gets up there and he's like, making Holocaust jokes. And it's like, is it possible that this is like David Duke? David Duke, every time I had a new show, David Duke would endorse my show. I don't know, who the hell is David Duke? Well, David Duke is obviously part of a campaign to discredit people on the right, obviously.
No.
And I think it's very obvious.
No. David Duke, you saw that lie he just threw in? For those of you who don't know who David Duke is, he's a former Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. And he was very popular back in the 90s. He would be on the talk shows defending the Klan. And he was everywhere. I think he ran for some political position. But Duke David Duke was like the loudest, most recognizable face of the Ku Klux Klan. And the reason why David Duke endorsed Tucker Carlson is because Tucker Carlson pushes white supremacist talking points. You notice how they play real coy. They always dance around the white supremacy part. They'll say, I'm a capitalist and he's a Marxist. Pay attention. They'll do that. They'll try to get you sidetracked on the topic. We're not the same. He's a communist and I'm a Marxist or a capitalist, or he believes in abortion and I don't. I'm a conservative. They're liberal. No. But what you do agree on is white supremacy. Understand this, black people. Something I've said for a long time. The only thing that's ever brought Europe together, starting with Christendom and Charlemagne the Conqueror, about 1,000 years ago, was the Christians versus the Muslims. The Muslims were black people. The only thing that brought the roaming tribes of Europe together was a mutual disdain for the swarthy-skinned people. And a lot of that had to do with how the Dragon Moors were treating Europeans. Dragon Moors treated them like shit. Not saying they didn't have a reason. You know, the Phoenicians, the Phoenix Moors educated them. The Dragon Moors used to pimp them and hustle them. So I'm not saying they didn't have a reason to hate, but for whatever reason, for that reason, that was the thing that brought Europe together. Was a centralized hate of dark-skinned people, the swarthy people. So brought Portugal together. So brought Spain together. So brought the Anglos and the Saxons together, and the Vandals and the Visigoths and the Huns and the Vikings and so on and so forth. That's what got them to stop fighting one another. And in America, when Tucker Carlson's people got dumped out of Europe, I'm sure his people were thugs in Europe. They were probably criminals. They were probably criminals in Europe, his people. And I say probably because Europe literally emptied its prisons into the United States, Germany, and those countries. So that's a guess. I don't know for sure, but it's like Trump. It's a pretty safe guess that his family was criminals, and they were pumped over here, you know, and they hate each other, or just say another side of this family was aristocracy. That makes it even worse. People who come from aristocracy really hate people. It's more hate from the aristocracy than it is the serfs and those folks on the bottom. So if he comes from aristocracy blood, he really hate everybody else. But the thing that brings aristocracy whites with serf whites and knights is a mutual disdain for dark. They always like to leave that part out. And that's what brings them together.
Yes, that Nick Fuentes is exactly the same. Doesn't mean everything he says is false. It doesn't mean he's not talented. He's enormously talented. Doesn't mean he's a bad person. I'm not attacking him personally. But he is clearly part of a campaign to discredit non-crazy right voices.
So there it is. Tucker is saying very clearly he believes Nick Fuentes is some sort of a Fed, some sort of a plant, somebody there to make people with the viewpoints like.
See that? It ain't just the niggas on the hood podcasts calling them folks informants. You did. What's up, Rocky? It's the same game over and over and over again, man. This don't sound no different than Adam 22. Oh, no, man, I got his paperwork. This nigga, Tucker Carlson, is sounding a lot like Whack 100 right now, ain't he? It ain't just Whack 100. It ain't just him. Tucker Carlson throwing out that snitch jacket on Nick Fuentes. So this is Nick Fuentes' response.
This is what he has to say.
And I don't know necessarily with any specificity what the goal is, but I don't trust it even slightly. And it just makes me angry because at the bare minimum, he knows far more than he's letting on. This whole shtick, I don't watch TV, I don't use email, give me a break. This whole shtick, I just like to fish and I like my dogs and I just like Zen, give me a break. In between stories about his childhood where he's hanging out with the Contras and he's hanging out with the operatives that overthrew Mossadegh, which if you know anything about this is just like glowing in the dark, like a shooting star. It's unbelievable. You might as well say I missed my flight on 9/11. You might as well say something like that at that point. You might as well say I was in Dallas in November 1963, but I had nothing to do with it. I was renting books or something. I was looking in book shopping when all that went down. I didn't even know. I didn't see what happened. This guy glows so much in the dark. His background with his father, his application in the CIA, his overnight turn, this international tour, meeting with heads of state in elections, in wars, and then presenting like you're some nincompoop, presenting like you're some doofus. I'm just a simple guy. I just like my daughters. I just want to grow up in a country that's cool. Shut up. And then this thing with Iran. I mean, fine. If he's against the war, then I agree with that. I guess we're on the...
I'm sorry, I gotta go back. Shut up. This shit's funny as hell. Montana Mac's little gay ass is funny as hell.
Up. And then this thing with Iran. I mean...
Oh, no, I missed it. I'm sorry, this for me. I'm silly. I'm goofy. I gotta hear that part again.
Presenting like you're some doofus. I'm just a simple guy. I just like my daughters. I just want to grow up in a country that's cool. Shut up. And then this thing with Iran. I mean, fine. If he's against the war, then I agree with that. I guess we're on the same page on this one, but I don't trust it even slightly. And people said, well, you're on the same page as Loomer and Mark Levin. I'm against the war in Iran too. And I don't like Loomer and I don't like Mark Levin. They don't like him because they think that he's trying to prevent Israel from...
He's talking about white supremacist Laura Loomer and white supremacist Levin. Everybody that he's talking about hates black people. Allegedly. But I say that based on their commentary. Especially that Laura Loomer. That's one distasteful bitch right there. These are all... Look, black folks. I do these kind of shows on purpose. I like throwing it in the face of those, we the only ones that can't come together. We just need to come together. We just need to come together. If we just come together, we can't never just come together. Why Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar got to fight? We need to come together. Why can't Roland Martin get along with everybody else in Black America? We need to come together. Why can't we just we finally got a black president, President Obama, and we can't agree on nothing. That's what that shit Ricky Smiley be saying. We can't agree on nothing. Ricky Smiley be like, we the only ones. We the only ones. We the only ones that can't agree on nothing. Can't nobody agree, you dumb motherfuckers. We're not meant to. Humans is not. There is no such thing as everybody agreeing in American society. White, black, or indifferent. The only thing they do, that you just have to agree on one thing: self-preservation as a group. That's what you have to agree on. And that's the only thing the white supremacists agree on. Because in their mind, as Dr. Welsing says in the ISIS papers, we have the genetic material to wipe them out. And they have an agenda of self-preservation. They understand that they can't dance with us. So they know how to, as much as they hate each other, come together and say, hey, since we can't dance, nobody dances. It's a law against dancing. No more dancing at all. Because you niggas dance too good. It's the only thing they agree on. The niggas can dance, we can't. So let's just, because we have a mindset of self-preservation, let's come together and outlaw dancing. Because if we keep dancing going on, the niggas are going to take us out. After that, these motherfuckers do not get along. But we need to come together. Somebody send this shit to Ricky Smiley and D.L. Hewley. Sending this back and forth.
From getting its regime change. I'm just saying I don't trust this guy at all. And by the way, for anybody that says he's a real journalist, for anybody that says that's what real journalism looks like, I'll remind you, journalists have been in bed with intelligence for as long as intelligence has existed.
Facts.
For as long as there have been intelligence agencies, for as long as there has been a CIA or an OSS or a Secret Service or any of it, for as long as there has been mass media and a centralized massive press, these two institutions have been like this. And by that, I mean inextricably connected, cannot separate one from the other, especially on the right wing.
Okay, so who's the fat?
See? He said especially on the right wing. But we'll be the ones that say that's how the Democrats are. You see how at the end of the day, people are going to play whatever side that they own, because most humans don't pay attention to what the other side is doing. So the same way niggas be like, especially us, people be like, well, especially the Democrat. You just heard a white boy say, especially the right wing. Everybody does that. People always think whatever side they're on has some exceptional, either are exceptionally great at something or exceptionally bad. Exceptionalism is the issue. Right here, she has some posts from other white supremacists. This is Milo. This is another major white supremacist. He says, remember when Nick had his money frozen by the Department of Justice? Ask him how he got them to unfreeze it. Answer, informing. Oh! What is this? A tweet from August 11th from Milo, that racist Milo? He's calling Nick Fuentes an informant. Whoa! He said he was lying to fans every day, taking cash off teens. He didn't say people, he said teenagers. Claiming his account was frozen 6 months after he got it back. So Milo is accusing Nick Fuentes of being a Dr. Umar Johnson style fraud. Hey, self-hate niggas. You see that? Dr. Umar's coming everybody's community. What's up with all this? Why are we the only ones? We the only ones. Who is the only one? Are you we the only ones? Niggas got to be feeling hella stupid right now. Are you we the only ones niggas got to be feeling hella stupid right now? And let me tell you something. That's good. You should feel stupid. Because if you think we the only ones, you are stupid. And you see here, the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, has time to stop running his goddamn rocket company and sorry ass fake ass car company and his Starlink company to sit down and agree. You got some of the Tucker Carlson, who's been around in conservative media spaces since the 90s. I remember hearing about Tucker Carlson in junior high. That's how long Tucker Carlson been around. I was in middle school. High school when he was really popping off. I used to hear about him all the time in college. Oh my God, I had one professor in particular who loved Tucker Carlson. And I had to sit in a political science class and listen to a professor who loved Tucker Carlson. You got Candace Owens, who really broke ground on this internet, in this internet space with her conservatism. And now you got the richest man in the world jumping in. all against a young white supremacist. Are we the only ones still? I got a question for you Sambo niggas out there. Are we the only ones still? Is we the only ones? We ain't the only ones now. We the only ones. We the only ones. And then look at this. Because Nick Fuentes was involved in the January 16th. He said, we're taking the Capitol back. Keep marching. Don't relent. Break down barriers and disregard the police. This Capitol belongs to us now. This was a tweet that was put up November 25th, 2023. Milo found a way to go back to that tweet and say no charges because Nick was one of the 30 or so confidential informants working for the FBI on January 6th to entrap Trump voters. His victims were tortured for years in jail. At least 5 are dead. These is white folks fighting over storming the fucking Capitol. He's saying he's calling, you see all these white supremacists, why no one fucks with them? Look how stupid these people sound. You're talking about people who charged the Capitol. He's calling people victims who volunteered to storm the Capitol. Black people. As wrong as this country has done us, will we ever be so stupid as to storm the Capitol? Huh? These white supremacists are over here giving these are the people who talk about black culture. Nick Fuentes was literally last week doing a whole diatribe about black culture. And this is a man that tried to storm the Capitol. And he's the one that started talking about black culture. Look at this. These are the people that were talking about what's wrong with black culture. Well, this is him talking. Listen, this is actually Nick Fuentes talking. Listen.
Because Nick was one of the sixth.
Keep moving towards the Capitol. It appears we are taking the Capitol back.
That's still with the megaphone out there talking.
Keep marching and don't relax. Never relax. Yeah. Break down the barriers and disregard the police. This Capitol belongs to us.
This dude literally led a march to storm the Capitol, but had the nerve to talk about black culture being irredeemable. And then look at this tweet from him. He said he was on the enemies list in September 2021. He said, I was subpoenaed in January 2022 by the House Select Committee and testified under oath that I was never involved in federal law enforcement. This is the definition of Fed jacketing. Fed jacketing is the same thing as snitch jacketing. This is basically, let's break this down in hood terms. He's basically Big U calling Whack 100 out for putting that jacket of an informant on him. And let's put this in LA Podcast's Hood Chronicle, Vlad TV, Adam 22 kind of shit. Nick Fuentes is basically saying that Project Veritas is doing what Brick Baby is accusing Whack 100 of doing to him. This ain't nothing but Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, and Whack 100. That's all this is. This is white people whack 100. That's what this is. White folks whack 100.
Enforcement. This is.
You see how they can break the law and then play like everything is cool and then turn around and talk shit about you? And look at this dude. This Myron Gaines guy basically says, hey, look, he admits, I used to work for the FBI. And I can guarantee you he's not working with us, with them. He's not defending Nick Fuentes' degenerate behavior. He's supporting it. So you see here, these white supremacists are putting heavy accusations on one another. They're at each other's neck. But I told you guys when I did the card reading for the year, this is a 9 of Hearts year. And in a 9 of Hearts year, people who are on the same team or supposedly on the same team will be at each other's neck. There's something going around spiritually that you got to find out who is who. And the way to find out who is the test. And people are being put to the test. And so we're going to continue to monitor this situation, this white-on-white civil war going on the right wing. We're going to continue to monitor the situation. So now we're going to switch it on over to what's going on with Africa and the African diaspora versus Ghana. This shit's crazy, y'all. This is crazy. Hey, all you hood podcasts, y'all can stop saying we the only ones now, okay? All you coon podcasts, you can stop saying we the only one now, okay? Take a larger look at the world you live in, folks. Don't be stuck in a couple channels or just one way of seeing things. Look at the world around you. When you look at the world around you, you'll find that, hey, it's not as bad as what you're making it. But look at what's happening right here in Africa. This is from Pink Book Lessons. I got O'Shea Duke Jackson also had a show on this, but I got this from Pink Book Lessons. Right, this is me. This is Pink Book Lessons channel. Watch this. What's happening in Africa right now?
We want Nigerians to go back to their country. Ghana is for us. Ghana is not for any foreigner. No Igbo man can come to this country and intimidate us. This country belongs to us. President Mahama, you can't.
What you say here is Ghanaians telling Nigerians to go home.
For Ghanaians, you said Ghana first. You said you came for the youth. Please take action now.
Now, I'm sorry to be a little silly. He's saying take action now, but don't he low-key look like an African Eddie Winslow? Chat room. I'm sorry for I digress, but don't this nigga look like an African Eddie Winslow? I'm going on a date with Jaylene. This nigga look like he about to hate on Urkel. This is Ghanaian Eddie Winslow. I digress.
Thank you.
I don't know. You might see. We can't be dealing with the legal criminals that we are having in Ghana and be dealing with Nigerians to grow. So Nigerians must be enforcement. The politicians have to do something about it. If they know that they have taken money from Nigerians, they better return it and do something about it. And the immigrations, they should stop giving Nigerians Ghana passports. They should stop.
She said that Marcia said they should stop giving Nigerians Ghanaian passports. And that's important because you saw what happened with Trump. Trump banned a lot of Nigerian passports because of the fraud. Ghanaians are like, look, man, we gonna have to pay for their bullshit. So she said, stop.
Stop giving Nigerians Ghanaian passports.
I want y'all to go and listen to Pink Book Lessons Breakdown because, like always, she always has a very interesting perspective from a woman's perspective. So I want y'all to watch her. I'm not going to play her breakdown because I want y'all to go back and watch this video. When I'm done, watch her video too because she always has a very dope perspective. So I want y'all to hear her perspective too. I'm not going to play her perspective because I would like for you guys to visit her channel and listen to her perspective.
Protesting that Nigeria must go out of Ghana.
This is right here. This is more talking about Ghanaians protesting Nigerians.
Is currently going on in Ghana. They are protesting that Nigerians living in Ghana must go. You know, they claim that Nigerians are committing so many crimes in Ghana that Nigerians living in Ghana are the one killing Ghanaians, that they one committing all the crimes in Ghana. As for that reason, Nigeria must go.
Now, let me tell you one secret. These Igbos, they are in almost every village in this country.
Listen to this brother right here. This brother right here, he like the dude that used to clean my church named Stanley. But he's making a very I learned something when I heard him. And I'm gonna go back to the beginning. Because what he's doing is there's a video I'm gonna play a little bit later on where another African makes the same distinction. What he's saying is not all Nigerians, it's the Igbo. So they're even getting more intricate. So I learned I like listening to people around the world. You get to hear the shit, you know, the details. But listen to what he's saying. It's not just all Nigerians, it's Igbo. Listen to this.
That reason Nigeria must go.
Now, let me tell you one secret. These Igbos, they are in almost every village in this country. And they have targeted our markets. That's the retail. Okay, fine. Nigerians. And they have targeted our market. They are in almost every village in this.
Another point I want to make. This goes for you Pan-African niggas. When y'all say we African, look at what's going on in Africa right now. Look at what's going on. Ghana and Nigeria are right next to each other. What do you think would happen if we came in mass? What do you think would happen if we came in mass? Especially as much as we be cracking jokes and talking shit. Imagine black Americans going into Ghana right now. We would see this nigga and we'd be minding our own business. You know, niggas is always clowning and shit. You know, imagine seeing a nigga in front of a liquor store as a black American. You walk up and be like, hey, this nigga look like Brother Polite's daddy, don't he? We assholes. Black Americans be assholes when it comes to the jokes. We'll be looking like, nigga, is this Wood Harris? Who is this nigga? And we won't be thinking nothing about it and go about our day. Imagine us going to these countries in mass the way we talk shit. Hey, yo, man, look at that nigga's kicks. You see what's happening? Niggas be like, man, I don't know, man. America ain't for us, man. Man, I need to go back to Africa, man. All right.
This country. And no man targeting your markets. That's retail sector. But our laws does not allow foreigners to engage in retailing. Okay, you promo ha. And a Nigerian boni and I'm so and yet to General Ankara. If you Ghana Kunyaso on the 2nd April 1969. Now they say Iboni and I'm coming to my second. No, can you book us a video?
Hey, look at this dickhead in the chat. He said, meanwhile, Crips and Bloods in LA are forcing black people to check in, huh? I ain't never checked in my life, you fucking square. Where do you get your, do you believe in Santa Claus, you dumb motherfucker? Where do you get your news from? Crips and Bloods in LA are forcing black people to check in? No, they're not. Gang members who choose to participate in that lifestyle, or people who choose to hang around gang members, they gotta go through that. The rest of us mind our black ass business. So kiss by the sun, listen and kiss by the sun, you can kiss my ass. Cause you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You need to shut the fuck up and listen to what's going on instead of going around saying a bunch of dumb shit you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Talking about checking in. Nigga, what? Have you ever heard Common say he has to check in when he comes to LA? Have you ever heard Lupe Fiasco say he has to check in when he comes to LA? Have you ever heard Ludacris say he has to check in when he comes to LA? Have you heard Killer Mike say he has to check in when he comes to LA? Have you heard Nas say he has to check in when he comes to LA? Have you heard Jay-Z? No, you stupid son of a bitch. People who choose that lifestyle check in when they come to LA. Everybody else minds their fucking business. Now, let's get to it. Someone say you never heard Shaq. You know why Shaq had to check in? Because Shaq was a fake gangster in the 90s. Again, if you choose that lifestyle, LA is the show me city. If you choose to go down that route, hell yeah, you gotta check in. It's a whole set of rules when you want to play a tough guy. But playing a tough guy is a choice. When Shaq first came to LA in the 90s, when the Lakers were playing at the Great Western Forum, Shaq chose to hang around a lot of gang members. Shaq chose to have these people in his house. Shaq chose to have parties where there was gambling involved. Shaq chose to have these people around him. Kobe Bryant chose not to get involved with these people. So Kobe didn't have to check in. Shaq did. Because Shaq wanted to be a tough guy. You see how that worked? Oh yeah. You want to be a tough guy? LA is everything, every reputation you've ever heard about LA is true. Yes, it is. For those who choose to be tough guys. You're right, Biz Marti. Robert Ory didn't check in. You never heard about Rick Fox checking in, did you? Never heard about Brian Shaw checking in. You choose to be a fucking weirdo and be a tough guy? Then yeah, you gotta check in. Yo bad, not mine. So let's get into it. I don't feel bad for gangsters. If you choose to be a tough guy, that's the life you chose for. You signed up for. That ain't my fucking problem. But as you see, let's keep going through it. Let me see if I can find some South Africa examples. Now it says South Africans, Ghanaians, and Kenyans. Listen to this, brother.
Other nations, then you have others saying, if all these countries have a problem with you, maybe the problem
well, no, that's that one. You know what I'm saying?
Is you. They're urging Nigerians to cut it out and be welcomed out.
That country up.
Let me see here.
And this is to my fellow Nigerians. For how long are we going to keep quiet about this and act like
this is a Nigerian talking?
It's not affecting us. When our people leave Nigeria and go to some countries, why is that? They do everything in their possible best to make sure they fuck that country up. Wherever we go, we always make sure we leave bad image. Is that who we really are?
He's saying wherever we go, we leave a bad image. Everywhere we go. This is a brother right here that's questioning, and salute to him, because you need those people within your own community that's going to check your bullshit.
I get it. If South Africans doesn't understand we Nigerians, I still get it. But Ghanaians, they're tired of us. That should tell you something. We are the problem. We are the problem. You can say because you...
Nigga said, if you give 25 cents a day ass music. Hey, where the fuck did he find this song? God damn, this man is saying it's a good message, but... If you just give 25 cents a day, you can feed a whole village of 200,000 Africans. You can get the flies off their eyeballs. You can get them oatmeal and porridge for 365 days a year with just 25 cents a day. It's going to feed a village of 600,000 Africans. As music.
You want to make it in life, and then you hurting people along the line. No. We need to stop this bullshit. And for people back home, we need to stop applauding them in the comment section. They're f***ing things up for you. Now look at United Arab Emirates. They've tightened their visa policy to Nigeria.
The United Arab, he said the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, tightened up their policy towards Nigeria.
Look at the United States, same thing.
United States,
look at UK, same thing. You guys are acting like this.
The UAE, the United States, and the UK all tightened up their policies towards Nigerians. Wow.
It's not affecting you. It's affecting you and you really. Stop applauding them. Call them out.
Ghanaians don't want Nigerians in Ghana. South Africa don't want Nigerians in...
He's saying call them out. Stop accepting the bullshit. And then his other channel, this is right here. This is another channel I was watching. He's calling out what's going on over in Africa. And this right here is an Igbo man that's talking about building an Igbo kingdom in Ghana.
Igbo village, which has never happened in the history of the world among the Igbos in the world. As I'm talking to you, I've acquired 50 acres of land, that is 250 plus of land along the Flower Road, that is at Old Ningo area. But along that road, it's right on the road, I acquired 250 plus of land. My reason of acquiring this land is to build Igbo village in Ghana. I call it Amandi Igbo in Ghana. We'll build a village where we...
So here you have a Nigerian that bought 50 acres of land in Ghana and is talking about building a village in Ghana. This motherfucker is about to Akon his own people.
We're gonna build the palace of Igbo there, a huge palace. We'll build Igbo town hall there with about 2,000 capacity chairs and 100 rooms guest house.
And Ghanaians are not happy about that at all.
So they're talking about building palatial estates in Ghana. And this is some videos that the other channel has shown on here. This is from Zach Mausakaya page. And listen to this right here.
Listen.
It's cracking off around the world right now.
Listen.
That's them destroying Nigerian shops. That Kumar gonna take his campus over there to Ghana, huh? Ain't you a citizen over there, nigga? Umar talking about building his FDMG and doing some ain't he like a Ghanaian citizen? And look how the Ghanaians are treating the Nigerians. And this is them saying that people perceive Nigerians as arrogant. So it ain't just us, Nigeria. Let me tell my Nigerian friends this. No one takes you serious when you talk about your education. When you only apply it outside of home. Your education only matters if the power stays on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at your home. Okay? Your education only matters when you're not relying on the Chinese to help you build airports, ports, freeway systems. Only time your education matters is if you use it to build home. That's the only time they take it serious. Kissed by the Sun, you still in here? You take me serious, Kissed by the Sun. That's why you still in here, homie. I hurt your feelings. Oh. Kissed by the Sun in the chat room, mad than a motherfucker. This nigga about to throw his jollof rice all on the wall and shit. This nigga so goddamn mad at me. He about to scam 1,000 credit cards tomorrow. He's going to scam 100. But the one beat made me so mad. I'm going to scam 1,000. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. I'm going to scam 1,000 credit cards tomorrow. Not just 100. Fuck him. Fuck him. All right, let's keep going.
Nigerians. If you go to Zimbabwe and Zambia, they are not comfortable with Nigerians. In fact, even a country that is close to Nigeria as Ghana have a problem with the Nigerians. There is a problem. There is a general trait that Nigerians have.
He said even Uganda and Zimbabwe is having problems with Nigerians. God damn.
There's unnecessary aggression that other people don't find comfortable.
Why do you think there's seemingly an influx of Nigerians in most African countries?
Because their country, I think because of the terrorism effect that is going on in their country, and again because of the bulging population and the high rate of unemployment, so they are operating like Chinese. They are finding a way they can deposit their population. Unfortunately, they are depositing themselves with their Nigerian cultures, which do not fit in us. Even in Nairobi here, when you go to Kilimani here, we always see Nigerians opening, wanafungua bunduki.
He said something very interesting right there. He said he thinks they're doing what China's doing. They're deporting people, but in a way that it don't seem like they're deporting them because there's too many of them, like China. That was a very interesting observation. I want to hear that part again. I'm glad I listened to this brother talk.
They are finding a way they can deposit their population. Unfortunately, they are depositing themselves with their Nigerian cultures, which do not fit in us. Even in Nairobi here, when you go to Kilimani here, we always see Nigerians opening, wanafungua bunduki, wanataka kupigana na the Kenyans. Those kind of things we have to make sure that they...
This is a Kenyan saying that even when you go to I think he said Kilimanjaro. I thought Kilimanjaro was in Tanzania. So maybe they're in Tanzania. If he said Kilimanjaro, I know that's in Tanzania. But he said that there are Nigerians that are operating one of their places. He said, I think he said Kilimanjaro. I don't want to respond. I don't want to rewind. But either way, the point is they're having Nigerians operate the machinery. The Nigerians are taking the jobs. That's what they're basically saying. The South Africans are saying that. That's what everybody seems to be saying.
They stop. If you go to Donholm, they are doing very crazy things with our ladies, and those are the things that in fact, even this week on Sunday, The police arrested 3 people. Some of them were Nigerians with fake money.
The police arrested some Nigerians with fake money. So they're not only taking jobs, they're exporting the scamming culture to these other countries.
They are hacking into our M-Pesa. They are having fake money, illegal trade that are done by these guys.
I mean, you hear this guy say,
"Wow, they're talking about the scamming." But this is the part I want y'all to hear about what's going on with the Saudis.
Arabs, I mean, Saudi Arabia don't want Nigerians.
All the countries in the world being so wicked to Nigerians. Why? What is our crime? Yesterday it was the US. Now UAE. Yes, Dubai has stopped accepting transit visa application from Nigerians. Yes, they have closed it. Not only that, they have...
What is the common denominator here? And I know it's not all Nigerians. People are talking about Igbos because the definition of loud, boastful screaming, we know what that is. I mean, Nigeria is a country with multiple types of human beings, but it's a specific group that's talking about here, Igbo people. And Ghana is against that idea.
Is he an Igbo royal?
So, as y'all see, I'm not just making this shit up. The South Africans are talking about their scamming and taking their jobs. And the brother made a good point when he said that he feels that their government is depositing them all around the country or all around the world the same way China's doing. And so I'm having this discussion today. Like I always say, because we got to always combat the "we the only ones" ass niggas. You ain't the only ones. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. When you fly that aeroplane, they're going to tell you, put your mask on first before you put the next person's mask on. You got to save yourself. I'm not here to all the way shit on Nigerians. I'm just reporting the news. The same way I'm not all the way shitting on conservative right-wingers. They can shit on each other. Let them have it. But as you see, groups are at war. Groups are at one another's necks. They're bringing up long, old, standing beefs. And those long, old, standing beefs are starting to come out. Things can only be swept up under the rug for so long before people got to step out, before people step out and address what's going on. And that's what's happening. People are stepping out and addressing what's going on. So if somebody comes to you tomorrow and say, "we the only ones," tell them to kiss your ass. Okay? Kiss my ass. You sound like a stupid motherfucker. You need to learn something. And another reason why I'm not judging it is because this is necessary. Hell, I'm going through it in my own life in some areas. I'm sure a lot of you are going through it in your own lives. Where, friendships, relationships, job situations, organizations and groups that you've been a part of, you're questioning the connection. It doesn't mean that it's over. It doesn't mean that everything is done and finished. But through this questioning, you'll get to the bottom of it at some point. And you'll get to the bottom of it at some point real soon. You don't stay in this phase forever. This phase is just to wash out what's real and what's not. Separate the dirt from the clothes. And I'm not here to gloat and to shit on, because black people, we got our own problems. And I'm gonna cover this my next time I go live. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm gonna go live tomorrow. Just giving you guys a heads up. I doubt I'll go live tomorrow. But I may. But most likely I'm not gonna be live again until Friday. Friday night from my phone probably. Trump is coming for us now. But ain't that what we've been saying? You see what's going on in DC right now with those officers, and he said he's coming for LA and Chicago. The thing is, crime is down in every city that he said he wants to come for. He's only targeting the black cities. This is why we said we gotta pull back and not fight everybody else's fight, because our fight isn't coming, and it looks like our fight is here. So we've been resting, allowing Trump to do what Trump does because Trump hates everybody. But what he's about to do right now is come for us. And through coming for us, that is going to be his attempt, because he sees what's going on with this Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes. They want everybody on their side. And the way to rally everybody back to their side is to come for us. And they're coming for us. I was looking on the news today, all throughout Twitter. It was some youngsters here in LA. Right here, this has been the headline all over the place. Gangsters traffic runaway kids and foster kids for sex. Basically, like all pimping and hoeing, runaways was going, and then they went to the streets and they was doing whatever the hell they do. And now what they've been doing, see what they've been doing in LA? These have been the pictures being plastered all over the place. Black kids showing money phones, and youngsters, them talking about pimping. Basically, the pimping the whole game changed to the human trafficking game. They're putting these black kids as the face of human trafficking. They ain't talking about what these massage parlors are doing. They ain't talking about what the Mexican mafia does with its people. They're not talking about what the Yakuza does with its women. They're not talking about what the Hells Angels and these white supremacists do with their women. They're targeting the black people. These pictures of black folks with a lot of money pimping has been all over the place. And so you're going to start seeing more because people commit crimes, of all races. But you're about to really start seeing when black people commit crimes, with crime being down, you're really about to see black images. You about to see this from the LA Times is liberal. You about to see the liberals and the conservatives come together against us. And we are in Leo season. As we go into Virgo season, y'all, I'm telling y'all right now, we are on a precipice of shit getting real hot and heavy here in America. Told y'all in my card reading, when we're done with this 7-week cycle, as we get into September and into Virgo and Libra season, it's about to get. We're right there on the brink of some shit really popping off in this country. Okay, we really are. Trump is spreading himself thin, going after everybody, and this is the time. So we need to pay attention. But I'm gonna do a full breakdown of this the next time sometime the next week. It's just now really getting started. I want a few more things to happen before I do a full show on this. So you're either gonna get a full show on this sometime either this weekend or sometime next week. Because it's some more. Because I was gonna talk about it tonight, but it's some more shit that's gonna be popping off. So I want to let a few more shoes drop before I do a live on it. All right. Yeah, Birth of a Nation 2.0. Yep, it's our turn. Trump. I mean, look, America's never gonna leave us alone. But at the end of the day, Kamala was gonna come for us. That's what we're saying. Either way it go, they coming for us. That's why we weren't listening to cats like Dr. Umar saying, no, bro, no. We ain't about to jump in with everybody else's shit. No. We ain't about to jump in on everybody else's shit. Because we know our time is coming. And
Cool. It's a cigarette.
Look at them in D.C. coming up on people's porches.
Did y'all get a call or something about right here? No, so
this is what they doing. So let's be prepared. Let's be safe, everybody out there. Let's be safe. Let's come together. Let's come together. But let's come together with an agenda. An agenda of self-preservation and self-freedom. Y'all dig? All right, for sure. I'm about to be up out of here, y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Remember, there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. Go to my website, breakthroughcards.com. Email me if you want your report. Book a reading at the website. And all. All right? Thank y'all again. We out. Oh, somebody say I should do a reading on Dr. Umar. I did do a reading on Dr. Umar. Go back to my reading show I did a couple weeks ago. I did do a reading on Dr. Umar. No, like last month. And I told y'all last month, shit's about to get real hot and heavy for Dr. Umar within the next few weeks. I read that about a month ago. So check that out. I did do a reading on Dr. Umar. And I didn't know he was gonna get his school taken, nothing like that. But I did say these dark days are coming. Yes, I did. So y'all go ahead and look that up. All right. Y'all have a good one.